Google Hangout, dip Desteni Google Hangout, and this week we're going to discuss makeup. It's in the series of the human body, as we have been walking already quite a while. And today we have three guests with us. We have Amber from the Netherlands. Hi, Amber.
Hi.
And we have Carrie from the United States. Hi, Carrie.
Hi. Hello.
And we have Michelle, a US citizen, and is living in Austria at the moment. Hi, Michelle.
Hello. Hi.
Okay. Well, the first question I'm going to ask is, when did you start wearing makeup, and what have been your reasons for doing so? And at the same time, how did you experience yourself with it? Who wants to start?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I started wearing makeup when I was 13, and I started wearing it because my friends were wearing it. I was actually kind of a tomboy, but what we wanted to do at that age was look older, and we wanted to attract attention. So that was my starting point of starting to wear makeup. And when I wore the makeup, I did actually experience, getting attention. And I did think that I looked older in the mirror.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, definitely can relate to that. Wanting to be older than you are. Just
wanted to be different, yes.
And different, yeah, for sure. And you, Michelle?
Yeah, also like Carrie, I started wearing makeup when I was 13, and I also did it because my friends started wearing makeup too. That was also the time where I started to develop acne and pimples, so I would use makeup to cover up the acne and pimples, and it did make me feel better about myself because I did feel like I could hide the acne, because I did have a lot of insecurity about that. So wearing the makeup, I did feel better about myself, and I felt like no one could see it, no one could judge me for it. So that was basically my experience with it.
Okay, so it was really a mask over your acne. And didn't you experience like it getting worse because of all the products you put onto it?
I did, yeah, and I would like go to the dermatologist almost every month, and I would have to try these creams and lotions, and I eventually had to take Accutane, this really like powerful pill for acne, and it still didn't go away.
Okay. Well, Michelle also has written a nice blog about this, and in the description box I will leave a link for the ones that want to read this. And Amber, when did you start wearing makeup?
I never really started wearing makeup. I still don't. I wear mascara from time to time, and that's about it. That's all the makeup I have, actually. Because, yeah, I didn't have many friends at 13, like, so, and the friends that I did have were very much younger, so they didn't wear makeup yet, and therefore I didn't feel the need to do it.
Okay. Let's see. Carrie, you said you were wearing makeup, and can you say what did you try to cover up with the makeup?
When I was younger, or as I got older?
Well, also as you got older.
Well, as I got older, I mean, like even into my, older teens, like 17 or 18, I saw I had like these flaws. And like acne, or, redness, or I just wasn't really happy with my appearance. I had a lot of friends that I saw were, really, really pretty, and I did not see that I was pretty like them. I mean, so I tried to, make myself pretty with makeup. Um, Even, it's so funny because even back then, when I wanted to look pretty like my friends, I still never, saw myself, as pretty
As
like them
pretty.
anyway. Yeah.
So in a way, it didn't work. You tried to be equal, or maybe even to compete with them because you saw them
Yeah,
as
exactly.
as more beautiful. Yeah. So how did you cope with that? Because it didn't work. Was there a moment where you thought, okay, it's not working. What am I going to do with this?
Yeah, I just kept doing it. I mean, I didn't really, change, as far as the makeup point. I did other things, like I lost weight, or, I got different clothes, that I thought made me look pretty, or I would change certain aspects about my personality that would attract attention to me.
Yeah.
So that was my solution. I just wanted the same attention that my friends were getting.
Yeah, I get it. Because makeup is mostly not just makeup, it's mostly a package of what you said, clothing, hairdo, things like that. It's not mostly not only makeup. And Michelle, you were saying also that you had this acne and you had, well, that was the point you were covering up. Was there something else also what you tried to cover up?
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of the acne and everything, I did feel better about myself. And so, because I didn't know how to deal with the judgments I have towards my skin in general, so that is why I used the makeup, and also because I really thought that girls who wore eye makeup were really pretty, and I wanted to be just like them. So it was also a point of fitting in, trying to be equal with my friends. And then there was also another phase in high school where me and my friends, we started to go like into like this punk phase where we started to wear like darker black, eye makeup, and just even our clothes, we would change our clothes. So it was like we went through like this entire phase together just to kind of fit in. So yeah.
Yeah, I myself, for instance, I think I was in my 30s and I was quite happy with myself. I had 2 kids and I lost a little bit of weight because of 2 pregnancies. I was gaining more weight. So I was quite happy with myself. And then one of the mothers that were also waiting outside of the school for the kids, and she said, well, I was discussing with my husband last night, and well, we think it's so how do you say it? It's a pity that you are just not noticed. You are just there, but nobody sees you. Of course, that was her opinion, but I got really offended, and my ego was tickled. Let's put it that way. And she said, "Well, if you at least wore some makeup or just wore some nice, trendy outfit, well, maybe then you will be noticed." And I thought, well, I can do that because I don't want to be this nobody in her opinion. So I started making my own really trendy clothing, and I started putting up makeup, and I felt really, really better. I felt noticed, but it was just fake, of course. And after a while, I could see how fake it was, and that I could just let it go because I no longer needed it. It was kind of a process I had to walk. But so that can also be a point of starting to wear makeup, that others are just going to almost provoke you to just do something with your appearance. Okay. Amber, how did you see other kids that did wear makeup? There
Well,
was there a
yes,
moment that you sorry, was there a moment that you thought, well, maybe I really like to do it, but
Well, I have thought about it quite a few times, and a few years back, when all the girls in my class wore makeup, but I have a very delicate skin, and I can't just put everything on it. So that was one of the reasons I didn't do it. And well, I thought it was their choice to do it, and it was my choice not to. So I didn't really have any. Yeah.
No need to fit in.
No.
Okay, cool. And what path have you ladies walked this far to come to see what your relationship with makeup was or is? Is there anybody who wants to answer the question?
Sure. I once I started to read the Desteni material, I started to blog, and I started to, within the blogging and writing, started to kind of look at the common sense in things. Why do we need makeup? Oh, it's just to fit into society. And I went into a rant and rave as you talked about that I wrote. And then I took the Desteni I Process course, and I walked an assignment on beauty. And so I got to see like how I define beauty, you know, how do I see beauty, what is beautiful to me, and I got to see how, you know, I would use makeup to cover up my insecurities about myself. And then as I started to simply just open up more points within writing, I kind of just saw that I don't necessarily need to wear makeup when I go to the grocery store. You know, I'm just going to the grocery store. I don't need to impress anybody. So I started to, when I would go to the grocery store, or even when I walked around in a park, I wouldn't wear makeup, and I felt fine. And then it got to a point where I'm like, well, you know what? Then I'm gonna start now wearing makeup at work. But the problem is I kind of took it to the extreme where my reason to not wear makeup at work was because I wanted to be a role model for the kids and the teenagers that I work with, because I worked at a school back then. So that was kind of like my reason. But eventually I saw that I was kind of taking it too extreme, because to be really a role model, like how I see it, it's more about like who you are, not about like the makeup you wear. I mean, sure, you can wear makeup, but it's really about who you are and your words and your actions that can be a role model for children and teenagers. So I did start to wear makeup, just a little bit of mascara, just enough to cover my pimples, just to do it to simply fit in or to be presentable within my work. So that's how I walked the process.
Oh, that's really cool. Also that you could see that you were taking it into the extremes, as you said it. Really cool. I see that Christina Salas is having that she made some comments. She says, I found because my mother wore makeup, it seemed normal and something that girls just do. I can see also in the US it is so embedded and in the culture, so just accept it. Is this something that exists also in your country or culture, Sylvia and Amber? Yeah, it is. It is. All little girls want to just grow up, and also when the mother is wearing makeup, as you said it, Christina, because I was in that period when my children were small. I was wearing makeup, and when they did makeup with my children, like making them into a tiger or a butterfly, like more like a mask. Then my son would say, no, I don't want to be a tiger. I want just my lipstick and my eyes done, because he was just imitating me, and that for him was makeup. So yeah, you sure are a role model for your kids. I agree with you, Christina. And then she says, they cannot live without it. What are the consequences of this as a starting point for wearing makeup?
Oh, you go down to the next question.
Yeah.
And then that's a continuation up there.
Yeah, I see that now. Okay, so Christina, reflecting on, in addition to the previous comment, I can also see how women have come to accept a dependency on makeup, like an extension of who we are, like an arm or a leg. We actually think we cannot live without it. What does this do for one's sense of self when, and then what I just said, when they cannot live without it? What are the consequences of this as a starting point for wearing makeup? Anyone who wants to address this question or comment?
Like Michelle, when I started walking with Desteni, I started to question why I was doing certain things, and this is one of the things that one of the first things I started asking myself, why I needed to wear makeup. You know, why did I think that I couldn't go anywhere without it? And that was the thing. It's just like I didn't think I could go out in public without makeup. I didn't think that I was presentable, you know, and it was all just self-judgment and being hard on myself and not accepting myself. And I took a 21-day challenge of not wearing makeup. And I didn't wear makeup to work. I didn't wear makeup when I left the house. And I was always cross-referencing with my husband. Do I look okay? Am I all right? He's like, you know, you don't look any different. You look exactly the same. You have a pale complexion, you know, and you have light eyes, and you look fine. And so I was like, okay. And then I remember I had a job interview. And I had to go have a job interview during my 21, day, commitment to stop a habit. And I went to the job interview with no makeup. And I remember being very anxious about that. I didn't know how I was going to be seen by this person who was hiring me, or whether they would see me as unprofessional or not put together. And the first thing she said to me is, "My word, you are beautiful." I'm like, what? What? And I'm in my head, I'm like, if I don't have my makeup on, how can I be beautiful? Because that, to me, I just didn't see myself as, being beautiful without the makeup. And it's another thing. It's like, why do I need to be, pretty or beautiful? I mean, I went into the job interview and, I was qualified for the job. We talked, we had a great time. I ended up getting the job. So it was just, it didn't have anything to do with the way I looked. It was, what was I qualified for the position?
Yeah, it was who you were. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just like Michelle said before, that's the important thing. But you cannot see it because the makeup is some kind of an identity for you at the moment.
Yeah.
At that moment, yeah. Okay, cool questions and comments, Christina. And also Amber, I was answering the first comment, but it was also addressed to you. Like if in our country and culture, if it's also normal to just wear makeup, or almost as being forced into it because you are a certain age.
Well, I think it's in most cultures, because it's advertised everywhere. Everything that's what most people call beautiful. If a woman is beautiful, she usually wears makeup. So it's something that you see from when you're little, and you grow up with it, and it's just part of the culture. So yeah.
So yes, also
It
here
is.
in the Netherlands, yeah, and Europe, I believe. Okay. Yeah, what I want to discuss is we at Desteni are just, when we are facing a certain point in our life, we write it out and we do self-forgiveness on it, and we try to come up with really cool self-corrective statements, which means that we try to correct ourselves in real time. So how did you go through that process, Michelle?
Well, like I mentioned before, I did walk through the process through the Desteni I Process course, where I redefined the word beauty for myself, and then I started to, kind of like what Carrie did with the 21-day thing, I simply just started to not wear makeup when I went out in public, so I tested that point for myself, and I was completely fine. Yeah, and then when it came to work, I did go to that extreme, and then eventually did wear makeup because I did find it to be more professional to do so. I don't know what else to say with that point, but Desteni I Process course really, really helped me redefine beauty.
Yeah, and to identify what was the problem, what was behind it, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Walk through memories. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I saw was that it really was, I really did imprint a lot from like my mother and just the women in my life in terms of makeup and why they wore makeup. So I did trace a lot of it to like family.
Yeah. Well, that's the first people you have around. So yeah. And Carrie, if there was a pattern of certain behavior behind this mask of makeup, how did you find it, and how were you able to change that point?
Well, I found the pattern because I was looking for it, because I wanted to know why. And what was the rest of the? Can you repeat
I
that?
said, how did you find it, and how were you able to change that point?
Oh, and to change the point, well, of course it was a 21-day challenge, so, not wearing the makeup actually broke the habit. And actually being able to see my starting point of why I was doing it and seeing that it was actually made no sense at all and was absolutely, ridiculous actually, that supported me as well. At the time, I wasn't as far as Michelle was in the Desteni I Process assignment where they opened up the point of beauty. But I was doing the Desteni I process at the time, and my buddy actually, supported me through the process of self-forgiveness, self-correction, and self-commitment, so that I could actually change the point.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yes, it's very effective.
Okay, to cross-reference with you if you were just walking the path in the right direction.
Or to say, did you look at this? What about the memories? What's coming up there? How are you experiencing yourself now? Where are you currently at?
Yeah, just critical questions. Yeah, and that's also really cool about the courses we have, the Dip Light, the free course, but also the pro courses with the buddy support. It's really cool because sometimes you just don't see it yourself, and if somebody else who's just standing outside of your own bubble can just say, hey, look at this, just as you said, Carrie, that's really cool support, really cool. Marlon is saying, it's interesting that makeup is used to cover up and conceal imperfections without, it was just flipping around, without realizing that using makeup actually ends up drying up and damaging your skin, which then makes you think you really require makeup, a consumerist trap we fall into. Yeah, that's really, really true. Because as I said already to Michelle, with the acne, it's only making it worse. And when you wear a lot of foundations, creams, and whatever, well, it's just like this immense plaster on your face. the skin is not going to breathe anymore, and it's, as Marlon says, it's just damaging the skin. Do you agree with that, ladies?
I agree with it. It's like everything else that you do, it should be done, in moderation. If you're going to wear makeup, don't do it all the time. Give your face some time to breathe. Take care of your skin. Wash it after you've worn makeup. There's, and I mean, I don't know if I, buy into the whole moisturizer hype, about, rehydrating your skin or whatever, because the skin, or my skin actually is quite good at, rehydrating itself, as long as, I'm not like constantly plastering makeup on it every day. So if you do makeup, just give yourself, a little bit of time in between.
Yeah, and also just look at what you're using. Just not using the first product that's coming to you. Just see what your skin needs, because every type of skin needs something else.
It really does.
And there are really cool products out there. Christina is commenting on Marlon's comment and says, yes, cool point, Marlon. It's like through advertising or consumerism, we are told we need makeup, and then the damage that is caused. Causes, we then need the stuff to fix it. So it's a nice design in keeping women as a specific market for these types of products. Really, really true. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to add that there are like really popular brands, like makeup brands, that claim like that they're going more natural, but if you really read the ingredients, there are some harsh chemicals in there that are still not supportive for the skin. So they don't really take the skin and the person really into consideration.
It's true.
Indeed. Because sometimes it's just written on it organic, or all kinds of words that make you feel good. But it's only the word. It's not like what is in it. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, you just need to investigate, like anything else with food or whatever. Let's see. Yeah, well, that was a question I had also planned to ask you ladies about, indeed, the skin being damaged. And I'm going to ask, what solutions did you come up with to just have your body as priority number one, just to not damage it? Did you find any products or ways? Carrie already said something like, you don't need to wear makeup every day.
Yeah, I don't need to wear it every day. And you can, the makeup that I do use, I researched it. I made sure that, for one, it's not tested on animals. That was a pretty big deal for me. Or, that it's not, even after like the initial testing, that it's no longer, it's just a product, that's ready. And that, that for me to test on my own skin.
Yes.
And it works for me in moderation. I mean, if I'm going, 5 days straight of wearing makeup and not washing my face, I'm going to break out. I'm going to get red patchy skin or clogged pores. And, a part of it, too, is, just listening to what your body's telling you. Like, for instance, like, this has nothing to do with actual the makeup, but it was actually, a cosmetic point, is I attempted to, like a few months back, I attempted to test out whitening my teeth.
Yes.
And within a week, my teeth started to have problems. I stopped using the product, and I stopped trying to whiten my teeth because I wasn't going to create that sort of consequence for my body. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, that's a cool example of how to just be commonsensical within it. Yeah. And for you, Michelle?
I also did research to find makeup products that were organic and also were safe on the skin, especially because I have sensitive skin and it can be acne prone too. So I made sure that the makeup I was going to get was safe and basically good enough for those who have acne-prone skin, and also on like their Facebook page to see what actual people have to say. It really supported me in making decisions on what to buy.
Yeah, that's a cool one. And Amber, do you remember how that went with you when you started to wear some mascara, and what kind of products did you buy?
Well, you did most of the research, so.
Yeah, well, I'm the mom to just clear things. I'm the mom, so I know how it went, but I like you to just tell
Yeah,
it.
I don't really remember much of it.
Well, I can tell it. It was like she wanted to start wearing some mascara, and I said, well, I'm fine with it. Just experiment with it and see how it goes. And I said, but there's one rule. You have to investigate what product is cool, what product is, like Carrie said, not tested on animals, and what product is cool for your skin, because also like Michelle, she has quite a delicate skin. So then we started to you and I started to investigate, and we found a shop in the city who has these kind of products, and so she had to save up a little bit more because the product,
Yeah.
unfortunately, was expensive. But then again, well, at least
Yeah,
now,
they tend to be like that. You know, the good products tend to be more costly.
Yeah.
yeah, they are, and I do not know if that is necessary, but that's of course a whole other discussion. But well, in a way, it's not cool because you like to do it in a way that's best for all. But when you have a small budget to do it from, like teenagers to with their pocket money, then it can be a problem. And then it's also easier just go to the first shop or shopping mall and just grab the first cheap mascara, lipstick, or whatever. So yeah, that is not a cool thing.
Really
It's like a spiral you get the youngsters in. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add that because I hadn't been wearing makeup in maybe like a year or so, I decided to try on like eyeliner, and I felt my eye it started burning. It wasn't used to the makeup, so it actually had a reaction to the eyeliner I was trying on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just interesting. The body can change, I suppose, throughout the years and not be so accustomed to the makeup you once wore.
Yeah, and
less
maybe,
accepting.
yeah. And also maybe the recipe is a bit changed because a lot of products who were good, let's say 10 years ago, and they seem the same, when you only read on the ingredients, you can already see that some ingredients are replaced with, well, cheaper ones or different ones, or so yeah, just going by, okay, this is the package I always had, is not good enough. You have to do real investigation about that too.
Cool point.
Yeah. And what ways of wearing makeup do you suggest, are supportive for you when you look at the body and the environment? Well, we already had that question a bit answered, didn't we? Maybe Amber, do you have something to add to that?
No, not really. I think we covered it.
Okay. Is anybody here who has a nice story about makeup and how things went?
With me, after I got through my, initial point of, letting makeup go and not having to see myself as having to wear it, I could start having fun with it. I could start trying different techniques and different kinds of makeup and seeing, what it does and playing with it. But it wasn't necessarily from the point of I have to do this to look good, or I have to do this to get a certain kind of attention, or if I don't look like this, then they're going to think this. It was more of, let's see, what this can do. Like today, I like the colors black and pink together, so I put on, this black ink mascara and did like a little swirl up at the end, and then paired it with, this pretty pink eyeshadow, you know, and I liked it, and it was fun. So that's, you know, that's where I'm at with my process with makeup at the moment. It's just it's just something to do in a moment to have fun with myself.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. Just to experiment and just have a fun moment and try to find what expression you have in that moment and just add some nice colors to it. And Marlon is saying, what's your perspective in beauty pageants where little girls are meant to wear makeup as part of the beauty contest? Yeah, that's a really nasty world, because we were already saying competition between women is there when we talk about makeup, because we want to be more beautiful. And here women go further. They take their child as an extension of themselves, and mostly the women are dealing with, or what I saw, I saw a lot of moms who were a bit obese or not feeling pretty, and the child is in their eyes pretty, so it's an extension, and well, that's not a cool thing to do. Just using it, the child is a tool in that way, using the child to become appreciated, like a reward. Well, that's my take on it. Anybody else who has something to add?
My daughter did pageants when she was little, you know, and this was you know, before I even ever questioned it, you know, and before like the John Benet Ramsey thing happened. But she did the pageants, and you know, we had fun. It was more of like a me, my mom, and a her thing to do. We did it as the girls, where you'd go to a pageant, you know, we'd stay in the hotel together. You know, we'd get room service, you know, or we did one in Florida in Disney World, and you know, we went to Disney World all together, you know, as the girls. So, but as far as, you know, like, yeah, the makeup point, it's actually, you know, absolutely expected that the child wears makeup and looks a certain way, and the point of it was to impress people.
Yeah, and did you also feel the competition just in the air, like I'm better than you, or my child is better than you, more beautiful than your child?
For us, it wasn't like that, but that was there. That was very much there. Of course, you know, when she got a big trophy, it was like, aha, yeah. You know, because I mean, she was just this cute little girl from Maine, you know. And she, you know, we didn't really get into the whole talent aspect of it, or, you know, all the different modeling, and we just did it for the heck of it, you know.
Yeah.
So when she got the trophy, it was like, see that? Yes. You know, this kid, you know, that's really hasn't applied much of herself into this, you know, she's got a trophy. But yeah, the competition was huge, and when we started to feel, I mean, as we progressed, and we started to feel that competition and that stress, we stopped, because she didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to feel like tense like that anymore, like I had to have something to prove anymore, so we stopped.
Yeah, so it was also in you there, the proving part, like, yeah, it's a contest, so a contest without this kind of feelings, it's like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure in that industry to look and be a certain way, and those girls, you know, that's how they're raised, like from the moment, you know, they start walking, their mothers are putting them into these pageants and makeup on them, and they're disciplined and forced to do it. And, you know, I've seen kids that actually get in really bad trouble with their parents if they don't perform in a certain way.
Yes.
So, definitely not a cool industry.
Not a cool place, no.
Yeah.
But I think that's maybe almost a hangout on its own.
It really is. It's a biggie.
Yeah, because there's a lot attached to it. Well, our 40 minutes are almost up, so if somebody likes to say some last words, just go for it. If
Okay.
not, okay, it's also okay. I have, well, did you want to say something, Michelle?
Simply that, you know, you can always question your starting point as to why you wear makeup, and you could, you know, you can investigate for yourself why you wear makeup, and you can see how can it support you. Do you really need to wear makeup? You can you can go on the Desteni I Process Lite course. It's a free course. You can get assistance through additional support from your buddy. So there are ways where you can see for yourself or investigate for yourself your starting point and who you are within makeup and how to assist and support yourself to be more you and not to be defined through makeup or wanting to fit in, for example.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And also the forums are cool places to just write about it, talk about it with others, and we'll see how others have walked that path. And also Michelle gave me a nice quote of Osho, and I'm going to read it because I think it's really cool. He said, beauty doesn't exist in things. Beauty is a projection. Beauty is not objective. It's subjective. So one day somebody looks beautiful, another day the same person becomes ugly. It is you who projects. It is you who withdraws. The other works just as a screen. Once you come to know that the mind projects beauty and ugliness, that the mind projects good and bad, you stop projecting. Then for the first time you come to know what objective reality is. It is neither good nor bad. It's neither beautiful nor ugly. It simply is. All your interpretations drop with the projections. So that's a cool one to just close the hangout. And well, I'm going to put a lot of links and blog links and all kinds of other links in the description box. We'll put a link to Michelle's Facebook page if anybody wants to discuss further on what kind of products you could use, not from a sale perspective, but more just to just talk about it. And I see that Christina is also throwing a last one in, and she says it's important to investigate one's reasons for wearing makeup because the various judgments we have on thinking we must wear it can also lead to more extreme consequences, such as eating disorders where we impose an idea of what is beauty on the body. Indeed, the consequences can be extreme. For sure. Oh, another one. And so we miss what matters as our physical bodies, how it functions, how it exists, and so what really matters as who we are as physical beings. Yeah. What's inside, that's important. And once what's inside comes outside, well, you really don't need any makeup. Only to just have fun and just wear a nice dress and say, okay, and a nice black dress, I'm going to, as Carrie said, wear some purple with it and just be funny, be joyful. That's the way I think we should approach makeup. Next week we continue with the human body as well, and Anna Briggs Thompson is, as usually, going to host next week. And I'm going to thank Amber, Carrie, and Michelle for participating. And well, we see you next week, hopefully. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.